Hey folks, hope you're well. Max here from Townshift. Great to see you. Thanks for joining me. Today I thought I'd take another look at or discuss at least, the Line 6 Helix Stadium, where we're at. Have they solved all those problems they promised they'd solve? We had a discussion a while ago, where a video I did really, really well, and lots of comments, lots of interesting points of view. So I thought we'd catch up on that and just see where we are, what my thoughts are. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below, and why you're there. If you like this kind of thing, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe, of course, if you want to see more videos like this. That'd be great. See you in a minute. Yeah, so Line 6 announced this back in June 2025, June the 11th, I believe it was, because that was the day I ordered mine, pre-ordered mine, should I say, from a guitar in the UK. Yeah, they announced it back in June. I got mine on November the 21st, I think it was. I made a few notes here, so sorry if I keep looking down. So November the 21st, 2025, I got mine, all paid up, job done. We're at March the 5th now, so I think it's probably a good idea just to look where we are with it. What do you think? If you've got one of these, or you've been watching from the sidelines, what's your thoughts? And do you think they've knocked it out of the park, or do you think there's still a long way to go? I think I'm leaning more towards there's still a long way to go, if I'm perfectly honest. But that's just my opinion, by the way, and I'm not knocking Line 6 or anything, although I do think they need a kick in the arse just to get moving a little bit. So we got it early, and we didn't get showcase. That was the deal, of course, as everybody knows, anybody that's been following it anyway. I was ready for a shiny new box, if I'm honest. I couldn't wait to get my hands on the unit, so I just voted, yeah, let's do that. I think a lot of people are saying, well, you should have expected bugs and things like that, and I don't agree with that at all. Don't agree with that. The deal was, if you want it, you can have it, but you won't have showcase. You'll get showcase a little bit later on in December. Nobody mentioned all these issues with the operating system that we've been having, and I'm not going to go over them. If you want to have a look at that, they were in a previous video of mine. Did a couple of videos on Helix about this issue that we've been having with updates, etc. There was no proxy, no showcase on release. We knew there wasn't going to be any proxy. Eric Klein did say we won't be getting that until this year, so 2026. He didn't actually say when. No preset spillover and all that kind of thing. Things that they're working on, and we know we haven't got yet. But yeah, so where are we now? We're March the 5th. Yeah, we're March the 5th. We're still on firmware 1.2. Now, I think they're dragging the feet a little bit here. I think that's fair. I think if you were totally honest, you'd probably agree with me. I may be wrong, I may be totally out of order here, and please let me know if I am in the comments down below. But I think they could have done more. There was a video released recently, bless you, I can't remember his name. I will link to it, and he was the guy was talking about Rhett Shulshant made the video about not going on tour with it, etc. I think Rhett was absolutely bang on. I think it needed somebody to come along, which was one of the points in my other video, and one of the big players on YouTube needed to come along and just say how it was, because it wasn't fair on the consumer. The consumer was buying this unit thinking everything was hunky-dory, and it really wasn't hunky-dory. There was a lot of issues, and still is a few issues. Not deal breaker changes, no, but still issues that I think should have been sorted by now. They've had a long time to deal with this. So I'd love to try and get an idea of the general feeling of where we are with it. I know there's people that are absolutely over the moon with it. Their use case is working great. I know there's people absolutely gutted with it at the minute, and considering getting rid of it, and which would be a shame, because I think I think there's a great product there. It just needs that little bit of attention from Line 6 to get these things done. I think we could forgive them with a few of the features not being ready if they just said, well, this isn't ready, we want it to be right, so we're just going to hold off giving it you. However, this is solid, this works, which they haven't done, unfortunately. So yeah, I'd like to get the, if you want to comment on it, we can have a discussion about it, but get the general feeling if you've got one, or if you're not buying one because of these issues, or just try and get the general buzz about the unit at the minute. There's a lot of things happened between June and today. For example, the QC Mini came out. I've got that just here now. Great bit of kit. It's, in the UK it's $11.29, I think it is. It's cheap, innit? It's a cheap bit of kit. It's far cheaper than the XL there. Does it compete with it? Well, it's a different thing, but I think, if I'm honest, it competes with it. Yeah. It's got a lot of those features that Helix Stadium promised. They're already there, such as capture and things like that. And I kicked off about this as well because original Quad Cortex did exactly the same as what Lane said. I don't want to be waiting 5 years for some of the features to appear on that. No way. I won't live that long. Anyway, yeah, so just a general feeling. That would be great to discuss. Like I say, I think you could probably tell I'm a little bit miffed about it, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm not sending it back. I like the company. Every product that I've had from them, I think it's great. I think they've been great over the years. I've been using them since the late 90s. Absolute legends for stage work for what I do, So I'm not going to send mine back. I'm not going to do anything daft with it, and I'll stick to it and I'll try and make the best out of it as I can. I was quite excited about getting Showcase up and running because of what I do. I'm like I say, I'm a solo act. I use backing tracks, so it would have been something that would be really good for me. Yeah, so some of the things that I needed Showcase to do, it's not doing yet. For example, switching off effects, individual effect blocks, it can't do that yet automatically. Eric did answer me on the gear page, and I asked him about that, and he did come back and said it won't be ready in this iteration of it, assuming it's on the list. I think it needs to be quite high up at the list because that's what people want to do with it, but they're doing it, so it's up to them. But generally over, I think it's a great unit. Pedal's a bit sticky. I'm sure that'll work itself out over time. If you leave it in one position, it tends to lock a little bit, and you get this when you try, and I'll probably demonstrate that at some point, but yeah, not a biggie. Again, you don't notice it when you're with your foot. It doesn't matter. It's a nonsense one. Screen looks great, touch is great. I think there's a couple of usability bits. I'd like to be able to. There's a few bits. I'll probably do a video about that, so I'm not going to go into it right here. But now we've got the Stadium standard now, so the Stadium floor without the scribble strips and without the expression pedal. And that's in a steel chassis, not an extruded aluminium one. So I had a look at one of the guitar show. Which, by the way, Yamaha Line 6 stand was at the guitar show in Birmingham last weekend. They had a great stand. They had all the products were there. They had them in stock, and they were there, all the guitars. But all the stadiums were on version 1.0. Honestly think, what are people doing, Anyway, I think they're a little bit lost at the minute. I think that's not my point here. Or they're a little bit, they don't know what to do for the best. Well, do something. Just do something, So, yeah, what did I think of the Helix Stadium floor, non-XL? So I think you want the XL, personally. If you think you can get away with that smaller form factor, it's not a lot smaller, by the way. It is smaller, but not a lot smaller. Maybe it's because I'm coming from XL and I'm used to, and I've had OG, obviously I've got the OG, and so I'm used to scribble strips, and it's hard to get away from not having scribble strips. I don't know, it just didn't feel as well built as the Helix Stadium XL, and it's not going to because it's a different fabrication as well, so it's not built, it's not extruded and what have you, in exactly the same way as the Helix LT wasn't the same build quality. Very, very similar in difference, and I'm not a huge fan of the sounds of there, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a huge fan of the actual design and the feel of that pedal either. So I don't think there was much of a fanfare for that one coming out. I thought that was going to do a little bit better than it did. Again, you can go online and get them, so they're not rushing off the shelves. But hey, look, I'm not trying to knock it because I intend that being my main rig. That's going to be my main rig moving forward. I just want to know when I'll be able to do it. So some of the issues that are still present and still being reported on not just like the gear page, but on a lot of forums that I frequent, things like the DSP shutting down and shutting the audio output off, still not dealt with that. I thought that might have been rushed out pretty quick, but it wasn't. And if you want to know more about that, there'll be lots of videos about that. It's actually where you leave it idle and you come back to it, and nothing. You have to reboot it basically to get everything back. So, and I know that the beta team now is pretty large and they're working through the issues. I would expect a firmware any day, I think, but it's not here, so I'd expect 1.3 any day. And obviously you can't discuss what's in it and what have you, but fingers crossed there'll be some stuff in there that we're waiting for. One of the things I am waiting for is, I'm not really that bothered about proxying. I'm sure I'll use it once it's here. I haven't got any real amps to capture or anything like that, so I tend to purchase my stuff a lot off Michael Britt and Tone Junkie and such, for the Kemper and the Tonex and stuff like that. And I've got the QC now, so this is my first QC, by the way, so I've held off getting one of these, but yeah, it's a great bit of kit. I love the form factor. I didn't think I would, but it really is, yeah, spot on. There's nothing wrong with it, you know, and it works. Everything that it's supposed to do, it does. It's pretty impressive, I think, nowadays. So where was I? Yeah, we've done the shutdown. So the beta team. So they're working through a lot of stuff at the minute, trying to get to it ready. And I would imagine any time soon. I'd expect it within the next couple of weeks, I would have thought. So what's my view on it? I know I sound like I'm moaning again, and I probably am moaning a little bit. I'm trying to get a bit of a reaction, if I'm honest. I'd love to hear what you think about the Helix LT, the Helix floor and the Helix XL. Which one, if you got one, which one did you go for? Why did you go? What's your real thoughts? Are you also chomping a bit to get the other kit, you know, the other features, should I say, and get rid of some of these bugs? Do you feel confident with it on stage? A lot of people saying they are, a lot of people saying they're not. I think it is use case specific. I think it depends what you do. I'm definitely not in that position where we can say it's going to run my show, so I'm going to use Showcase for this, and we're just not there yet. Which is fine, you know, like I say, Quad Cortex, 5 years down the line, we were still waiting for some stuff on that, so let's be honest, they all do it now. We're still waiting for Kemper V2, aren't we? We're supposed to have dropped, but I mean, I've not seen it. I don't know what it does. I don't know what it is with companies now, they just don't seem to care. I'm still excited about using it, getting it out and playing it and making the most of that investment, you know. I know when I got the Helix OG, it was out straight away. And it had not got millions of amps and everything, but it had still got all that core functionality, and it was a big jump. This actually just feels like an OG with touchscreen, which is a bit, I feel a little bit cheated on it, if I'm honest. The Agoura amps are great, but we've not got many. We certainly haven't got the ones that most people have been shouting about wanting. Not yet anyway, who knows what's coming in 1.3. Bit of cloak and dagger going on, so you never do know. But, look, at the end of the day, I'm going to use mine, of course. I'm going to still use me AM4, I'm going to use me QC. If I decide to keep the FM9, I'll probably use that. We'll see, won't we? We'll see which one feels better under the feet and under the fingers. It's one of the things. Yeah, but I really would love to know what you think, because we're all in this together. Let's be honest, is it a OG with a touchscreen? Probably is to a lot of people at the minute, because some of those features they didn't want, they're not going to take advantage of, so they're not making the most of it, are they? There's not that many Agoura amps available yet. Hopefully that'll change soon. They were supposed to be quicker to make. That was one of the selling points of this. We'll be able to do, you know, this particular processor's quicker. That came out of Eric's mouth. So, well, let's see some of that then. Put your money where your mouth is, guys, and get it done. You know, I've said this last time, but I don't know how many you've sold, but at £2,000 a pop for us, I know they don't cost you that. Well, I know you don't see £2,000 to get all that. There's still a lot of money coming your way if you make, I don't know, 50% on them. Maybe you get £1,000 out of it. I don't know. I don't know what you get out of it. Maybe you get more. I don't know. But look, basically, I want to know what you guys think. I want to know if you're having problems. I'm the man you need to tell. I'll be your counsellor here. You can tell me. I won't tell anybody else. Just write it down in those descriptions below. I'll keep it to myself. I promise not to tell anyone. Yeah, with that, don't forget, if you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Give me a subscription either case, because I need them. And I'm looking forward to making loads more videos and getting dead excited about the Helix XL floor. I'm looking forward to getting excited about the QC Mini, getting excited about the AM4, the Tonex, the Kemper version 2, the FM9 from Fractal. Oh my lord, we're going to get excited this year, aren't we? Listen guys, thanks for watching. I'll leave you with this. Cheers.